Hello and welcome to another video by myself, Chris, from Sorare on a Budget. Tonight's video, I'm going to be taking a look at the process for withdrawing your money from Sorare. It's something that doesn't really get touched on enough, but quite frankly, it's something that really should, because at the end of the day, we're all playing this game to try and, make money, have fun, that sort of thing. But there's going to come a time where you might want to take some of your winnings, your profits, or just take your balance back out. So I'm going to talk about the process for that. I'm going to do a step-by-step guide. I'm going to do a live withdrawal. I will pause when I'm taking address codes and things like that over, but I will show the whole process as it goes. The will be some frequently asked questions. I do get sent quite a lot of DMs on Twitter and things like that, just to ask, when should I take money out? What are the pros and cons in doing it and things like that. So I'll touch on that in a little bit of detail. A lot of it's actually going to just be saying, kind of have to make your own mind up, but we will discuss that anyway. If you're new to the channel, press the subscribe button below. Helps grow the channel and helps support the videos. If you're new to Sorare, and this video gives you an idea of, hey, it's actually quite straightforward to take my money out. How do I get started in it? Follow my link on the screen, Sorare on a Budget. It'll be in the description below, sorareonabudget.com, and that'll take you to the Sorare website, and you'll be able to sign up. You'll get your free cards, and then obviously you can start buying your cards on the new card auctions or the transfer market. But when you buy 5 from the new card auctions, you do get a free limited card there as well. And also, if you haven't already, subscribe to the View from the Dugout podcast. It's available on all major podcast carriers, Apple, Spotify, Google, that kind of thing. But if you search for A View from the Dugout on there, you'll find the podcast that I host with my co-host, Scotland Sorare, which is one of my best friends, Russ. And you can find that on Twitter at AVFTDpod. It's a real world look at Sorare in terms of, we're lower end budget kind of guys, but I also appreciate the fact that we've been in the platform for about a year and we have made a fair bit of money. So this gives us an insight into our tips, processes, that sort of thing, and opinions, because at the end of the day, that's what it all is just opinions. So without further ado, I will go over to the Sorare website. Now, I have shrunk down my screen size for the Sorare website in the hope that it shows my balance, because usually my camera goes to the top right and covers the balance. So this is obviously when you log into your account, and if you find the football section, I've basically just brought up the My Club, not for any particular reason, just to give us a nice landing spot, to be honest. So the first step, if we're going to look to take out a balance, is we need to have one. So top of the screen here, and this is showing me as having £169.14, based on current ETH fluctuations. It has been going up and down over the last couple of days, but to be honest, one, I wanted to make the video, and two, I won some rewards today that were valued at about £150, £155, and my process all along has been, if I win rare rewards, I sell them and withdraw the money. So because I've got the balance before I've actually sold them, I'm actually going to take that money out just now anyway, and then I can work on selling those cards over the next few days. So obviously, when you go to add your funds, you've got the options here. You also have one here, which is very straightforward, saying withdraw. So you can choose to put your amount that you want to put in ETH or in pounds. So for example, I'm actually going to change it with the arrows here. And I'm wanting to say that I want to take out £155. Now, the reason I'm going to take that out is when you go to Coinbase, which I'm going to move over to in a moment, it will deduct a small fee when you sell your ETH. And it's usually about, I think it's about 1.5%, 2%, depending on the value of what you're selling. So it is only a couple of pounds, but just to try and give me £150 after the fee, I'm going to send over 155 from here. Now, the one problem with Sorare is that it doesn't show exactly live ETH amounts. Obviously, it fluctuates. I think it updates every kind of 5, 10, 15 minutes. I'm not 100% sure on when it updates, but it does. But it's not live in real time. And as we all know, the crypto market is so volatile that 1 minute is worth one amount. You go over and it's worth a different. So I'm going to send over a little bit extra. Now, this is where you have to get a little bit of details from. I use Coinbase just because I always have, and I find it quite straightforward to use. So you need an address to send your ETH to. Now, the address is basically like a code for your wallet. Now, you get that from Coinbase. So let me change over to Coinbase first of all. I've already logged in, so it's this is what it looks like when I've logged in. I've got no balance anywhere. I do believe there is some sort of referral code. I don't know. I'll put it up on the video. If anybody hasn't got a Coinbase account and signs up, I think we both get something for it. I'm not 100% certain. You can follow the link or not. It's entirely up to you. I'm not sure entirely what we get. I think it's some Bitcoin or something like that. Anyhow, it shows you the balances, for how much Ethereum is at the moment and things like that. So I'm going to go into send and receive. Now, when you go to send, it gives you the options here, but I'm going to press on receive. Now, this is where you have to be particularly careful. It comes up, I'm going to move, I have a menu bar here from Zoom. I'm just going to move that out of the way. So it gives you your Bitcoin wallet first and foremost, but we're not wanting Bitcoin. Now, this is where you have to be sure that you're picking the right cryptocurrency, because if you try to send it to the wrong address, it could just get lost in the ether. So this is where you need to, probably the wrong term to use, because, but you know where I'm coming from. So we want to find Ethereum. Now, there's all the different ones. You're basically just looking for the Ethereum with the triangles and our pyramids, and that's the one I'm wanting. Now, this is going to actually bring up the address. So this is where it says to you, to receive from other networks like Polygon, you must switch networks, blah, blah, blah. But this is what I'm wanting to do. I know what I'm wanting to do, so I'm going to press got it. Now, it gives me my address here. I'm not sure if I should really have that up, but I never have anything in it, so there's nothing to hack or steal. So what we want to do is copy the two little paper streets there. Will give us the copy. You can obviously highlight it and copy it, but you have to make sure you don't put any spaces or anything afterwards. So I just press it on there. Now, I'm going to go over to Sorare, and all I'm going to do is paste that into there, and I'm going to press continue. It'll ask me if I'm sure, which I am, and that's just to confirm that the details are all correct. I press send now. It'll ask me to confirm my password, which I've just done. And it now comes up with a message here saying, please confirm the email we have just sent to you. So they will send you an email. Quite often, if depending on your email system that you use, it may well go into like a promotions folder or a spam folder or what have you. So I'm just going over to mine just now to have a quick nosy and see if I can find it. There it is. It's in my email. I'm not showing this on the screen because I've got it on my phone. If my phone's actually visible, it doesn't seem to come up sometimes. There we go. If I put it in front of my face, it's there. So you then get a message from Sorare saying withdrawal confirmed. Now you have to be quite sharp with it within a few minutes just to confirm that. If you don't, it'll come up saying link expired, and the money will drop, or your ETH will drop back on into your Sorare balance within a few minutes, if that's the case. So I have now confirmed that. Now, basically what I have to do from here is I have to wait on an email coming through from Coinbase to say that I've received my my ETH through. So I'm going to pause the recording, and I will come back in a few moments when I receive the email to tell me that I've got Ethereum received. Back in 2 moments. I've actually decided to continue recording instead, because what I thought I might do actually in the meantime is actually look at some of the questions people do ask whilst I'm waiting on that coming over. It is usually fairly quick, but can take a little bit of time. But anyway, in terms of the frequently asked questions you get is, when should I take out my money? I can't answer that for you. And quite frankly, nobody else can answer that other than you. You have to decide for yourself when you feel is the right time for you to take out money. Now, that might be because you want to make a purchase of something in the real world. It might well be that you are short of cash. It happens to us all, the bills come in all of a sudden, we're all facing increasing heating bills or increasing electricity bills or whatever else it might be. An MOT for your car that's gone wrong and you need to do some repairs. There's no problem with taking some money out of Sorare. It really isn't. This is the whole point for myself. I've always been a trader on here, so that's the way I've always tried to build up my balance, is by, buying and selling players, hopefully winning some rewards that I can then sell for sell because it's obviously profitable regardless, and then I could take money out. In total, since I started, I've taken out £4,500 now, and I'm very happy with that, more than happy with that, because I only put 300 in to begin with, and it has been a lot of hard work. It's not been, quite frankly, I eat, sleep, and breathe it. I'm always on either Sorare data or my account or Twitter or what have you, just trying to, keep on top of things, because it's the only way I've found that if I really dedicate to it, I've been able to make quite a lot of money from it. And that's, again, as I said on the podcast on episode 19, that's not being Billy Big Boss. That's just being, when it's been the right time for me to take out the money. And it might be just because I've got a balance, or I've been able to replace, maybe, I've sold one big card. I've got, somebody's done really well. I've sold them for 300, but I've been able to buy 2 replacements for £100 each. And that's left me with £100 left over. And quite often you get lured into the buying for the sake of buying. Now, you might be buying to invest so that you can, sell another couple of players. But sometimes I get to that point where I'm like, you know what? I can actually take out some of that money now. And that's a personal choice. So you won't necessarily see a lot of people telling you to do that. It's just my opinion. I just like to have some of my money out, so I can enjoy it. And I've said that I've got a newborn baby, as most of you will know, and it just helps me with life at the moment. So in the last 7 days, I've actually now taken out £750, and it's, some of it's gone straight into the savings account because it'll help cover, monthly house costs. It also, as you probably all know as well, my son was part of the 3-way investment in the first place. So he just bought himself a brand new pair of football boots off of his, and has some extra money that he can put in his account for going out with his pals or doing whatever else, or whatever football top becomes something that he wants to buy. So it's entirely a personal thing. You decide when you want to take the money out. There's no right or wrong answer. It's what suits you. What would be wrong would be never to take money out, because surely the point of it is to make more money. Yeah, there's the have fun element, but it's make more money. So that would be my first part on that. I also often get asked about tax implications. What do you do with, for tax and things like that? I'm not going to answer anything regarding tax, and the reason being, I'm not a financial advisor, and that's something you would have to get proper financial advice on. And it's not something that I would advocate, to be perfectly honest, because if I give misleading information on that, it could potentially come back on me. So the best advice I can give on that, and if anybody gives advice on that, then, they're opening themselves to, to questions or scope or anything like that. So in my opinion, find yourself a local financial advisor and just ask them, I'm making money through this crypto platform, and what are my tax implications? And they'll be different in every country, but that's what I would advise doing. I would say go and actually find professional advice on that. Don't just take the word off of some bloke off of Twitter, because not everybody, most people are actually going to look out for themselves. So some of the advice they might give you might be misleading, for whatever reason. So yeah, I would say go and find a financial advisor, find a professional, and get professional advice on that. I can't give you that. I could, I've got money squirreled away, for, if for when it comes to paying a tax bill or anything like that. So it's, it's one of those things. It's just find the right professional advice. So that would be my advice on that one. What platforms to use? I think there are quite a few. I've always used Coinbase, and for no other reason. It was the first one I signed up. I also there was the one that got blocked. I can't remember what its name was, but it got blocked in the UK. But I found Coinbase to be really good. People worry about gas fees when it comes to ETH, if they've bought things off of OpenSea and things like that before, where you get hammered for transferring something. With Coinbase, it is literally a small percentage. And I mean, if we'll see in a moment when we get to the, taking the money out, what it comes up as when I'm selling it. So it's generally not a hefty fee. It is usually just, a percent or two that it comes up. So I've just received the email through. When you receive the email through, do not panic if it doesn't immediately show into your Coinbase account. The reason I say that is quite often it takes a few minutes before this zero balance that's on the screen in a couple of seconds, which I'm sure it still will be. No, it hasn't. It's gone straight through. So there you go. You could see the amount that I sent over from Sorare said it's actually gone through penny for penny. So it must have been just about on the nose when I did it. So here's what I do from here. So I've got my balance. You can click on it, you can have a look and see what you've got. But if I move myself out of the way, I can find the button I was actually looking for, which is buy and sell. So this is now going to give you an option to sell Bitcoin or whatever else. And obviously I've not got anything in Bitcoin, but what I do have is Ethereum. So I'm going to click sell all, because that's what I'm choosing to do at the moment. I'm looking to sell it all. So there you go. You can see now it's going to come up as a different amount. The reason being is that's what somebody's agreed to pay for it. That's, somebody's agreed to pay £154.97 for my 155.91. It's within £1, it's not a big deal. So I'm going to accept that. Coinbase fee, as you can see, $2.99. Let's click on this bit here. In addition to the Coinbase fee, we include a spread price, blah, 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 blah. You can learn more. You can go and have a look at some of these informations and the sell-on fees and things. But $2.99, I mean, what is that? That's about 2%. So that's, it's not the end of the world when you compare it to where some people get, hundreds of pounds coming off. You can see this is updating live as well before I press the withdrawal button. But you're talking 2%. So I'm going to take out this now, or sell it now, which is £151.95. So if I press sell, it takes a couple of seconds and it will show that it has sold. There we go. So I can view the transaction. It shows you all the detail, and as per the there we go, sold Ethereum, and what have you. So if I now go back to the home page, it's probably an easier way of doing this than this, but this is how I've kind of done it. If you go back to the home page, there should be a bit down, or maybe it's once I go into the balances. It is. And I go down here and it shows you that my balance is in British pounds. So if I click on here, I should have the option for cashing out. I do. It looks slightly different if you do it on your phone. Again, it gives you an option to cash out all. You can actually see, look, here's the transactions I've done in the last few days, last week or so, where I've taken out money. Oops, I think press Alt. And then you get your options. So now you can take it back out to a bank card. My bank card doesn't support it for some bizarre reason. However, I do have PayPal. So if I press continue now, it'll tell me that it's expected to arrive tomorrow. It doesn't. It arrives almost instantly. I think they give themselves a bit of leeway just in case. But if I press this now, I should have logged into my PayPal account on the laptop. I haven't. But that's the cash out request sent. And that's my balance now showing as 0 again. Let me see, go up to the top, balance there at the bottom, 0. And if I refresh that, that should show the portfolio balance as £0.00. That is genuinely as hard as it is. It's very straightforward to go in and take some of your money out of Sorare. And if I go now to my PayPal account, I'm going to do this. I've got this on my phone. So I'll try and see if I can get it so that I can actually show you. If I hold it in front of my face, apparently that seems to work. Because I've got the background on, it's a green wall behind me, so quite often things disappear, like my hand disappears behind my microphone here. But let me have a little look. Just waiting on a text through from PayPal now to confirm that it's me. Identity confirmed. Now, let me just move that out of the way. And if I could show you, I don't know if it's visible. No, we're all disappearing. It's not going to show, but you could trust me. It says £151.95 in my PayPal account, which then I have got the option to withdraw, which I'm going to do. Send it to my bank account, and it goes over basically goes over instantly. Sometimes when you first start out with PayPal, they hold on to the funds for 24 hours or what have you. Once you've done it a few times, it doesn't hold it. I had it when I got my eBay account and I was selling Pokemon cards for Christian a year or so ago. And sometimes they would hold that. I've never actually had to do it with when I've transferred the money from Sorare. It now says £151.95 is on its way to you, and it's gone to my bank account. If I go to my bank account now, that money will be sitting in my balance. So apart from a very short pause there, I actually didn't pause it for long because that's when I thought I could actually just go and do the frequently asked questions stuff. I've got it in my bank account, £151.95. It's sitting there. So It's very straightforward. It's nothing to be frightened of, and it's also for damn sure nothing to be ashamed of to take some of your money out. At the end of the day, you've worked hard for that, and if it might just be that you've tried Sorare and it doesn't work out for you, and you're like, right, well, how do I get my money back out? So obviously you'll have to sell your cards, get your balance, but that's literally how it works. It's not a terribly hard process, but it is if you've never done it. So it takes that bit of time to figure it out. But that is basically a step-by-step guide on how to go and take your money out of Sorare. If you do have any other questions, drop them in the comments below. I will try to answer them as quickly as I can. It's not as simple as it was, a few weeks ago before the baby was here and I had infinite amount of time. Sometimes the baby might be sleeping on me. Sometimes I've got to change a nappy. So it can take me a few minutes longer to get to an answer, but I will answer back to every question that comes on the comments below. If you have anything you want to message privately, get me on. You'll get me on Twitter at Sorare on the Budget. DM me. My DMs are open. Sometimes they go into message requests and I don't necessarily see them immediately. But again, as soon as I do, I will try to get back to you as quickly as I possibly can. So thank you to everybody that subscribed to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, please do so. It has been growing week on week. We're up to episode 19, I believe, will be our next one. And Russ and I have worked really hard to try and build an audience on that. And we've been quite successful. We get quite a lot of good feedback, and we take a lot of things on board. So feel free to send back any feedback or any ideas for upcoming videos. I had one tonight and it was great to hear because, when people send you that, it just shows they actually care about what you're doing, which is great. And I take all that on board. So thank you very much to everybody that's watched and for getting to the end of this. I hope it's been helpful to anybody that's looking at how to figure out how to take their money out, because nobody really shows you or talks about that sort of thing. So hopefully that's helped. And I will speak to you all again next time when we come up with another video idea. Take care, guys.